Welcome to the Family Beacon podcast from Minnesota Family Council with hosts Grace Evans and Moses Brattrud. Stay informed on the top stories on life, family, and religious freedom. Get the facts, stand for truth. Hello and welcome back to the Family Beacon podcast. My name is Grace Evans. I'm here with Moses Brattrud. Hopefully we don't sound sick this week, guys. We're not sick anymore. Okay, there's a lot happening right now at the Capitol. We filled you in on the kidnapping bill before, but you guys, wow, we are really up against it today. There is a floor vote happening on the House at the Capitol today on the kidnapping bill. Moses and I are helping to organize a rally. We're going to take you guys with us. We're going to give you some on-the-grounds, behind-the-scenes footage. But right now, we really want to break down some important facts about the kidnapping bill for you guys. It's so important that you guys know what's happening. By the time you get this, it will be Friday, so the vote will have already happened, but we're really giving you reporting on the ground live as we're getting the information. And so first of all, to put this into perspective, already over 1,000 of you guys have signed against the extreme kidnapping bill. Over 1,000 of you guys have already signed against it. Thank you so much for taking action against this bill. Again, this is the bill that would allow a court of the state of Minnesota to take custody of children if the parents disagree with gender ideology and a child wants to undergo gender transitioning, cross-sex hormones, all of those crazy things. A court of the state could take custody of the child and take that child away from their parents. Hence why we're calling it the kidnapping bill. Okay, so breaking it down for you guys. As you know, there's a one seat majority in the Senate. That's party line. There's a one seat majority, the Democrats, and the Democrats are probably going to vote party line on this, unfortunately. The party position is pro all of this stuff. And in the House, which is what we're up against today, the House vote is happening. There's a 6-seat majority. So if all of the Democrats vote party line, we're going to see a 6-vote majority. Now, they might not vote party line. We are at the Capitol. We will be peacefully, prayerfully protesting. We have urged them repeatedly to vote against this terrible bill. But that's just what we're up against. Just want to give you the facts. We also want to break down some amendments, right, Moses?
Yeah.
There are some amendments that we know are coming because in the House, they have to agree upon the amendments beforehand. They have to submit the amendments beforehand. They don't have to do that in the Senate, but in the House they do, and they have to post it on the Minnesota legislature website. So let's go ahead and break down the first one. Moses, do you want to break it down for us?
Right. I want to back up for a second.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go really in depth in the amendments because by the time that this comes out, you will be able to see the floor debate and you'll be able to see these amendments being offered in real time. But what we do want to do is give a sense of why these amendments are being offered, what is the goal, and what it mean, the reading between the lines a little bit. So we're only seeing two amendments posted for this bill, and then 3 amendments to those amendments. And so an amendment is, in this, not always, but in this case, it's an attempt by the minority party to change the way a bill works in a way that is, in this case, much better. So we have 2 amendments, and we want to shout out to Representative Mary Franson for offering 2 excellent amendments to this bill. And also, before I talk about that, I should say we want to shout out to all the great groups who have come out and have helped us organize this rally. So emails have gone out from the Minnesota GOP, from the Center for the American Experiment, from Minnesota Parents Alliance, from Child Protection League, and I swear I am forgetting 1 or 2 groups. We're hearing from pastors, we're hearing from grassroots moms who are going to be there today. So we're hoping for a good crowd.
Grassroots moms going off on social media and saying, we oppose the kidnapping bill for these reasons. And they've had some really good points, and it's been really cool to see just the power of parents, honestly. Like, moms and dads do not want this because this bill is against parental rights. It is anti-parental rights. It's anti-child and ultimately anti-truth. So we're standing against it.
Absolutely. So we're hoping for a good crowd, and we're hoping if the technical setup is going to allow it, we're hoping to give you some footage of that rally later on in this episode. We'll see how that goes. So these 2 amendments, though, really quickly, we have the First Amendment basically would say that gender-affirming care as defined by this bill does not include the crime of female genital mutilation as defined in Minnesota statute. And I want to keep this PG, guys, but female genital mutilation is a horrific crime that is a cultural practice or a religious practice in some parts of the world. It should never be done in Minnesota. There have been allegations that it occasionally happens here.
Yeah,
of course, especially not to children. And yet, it's horrifying. Don't want to get into the dirty details really, but it bears a resemblance to some of the surgeries that are done as part of so-called gender-affirming care. So this amendment clarifies how extreme it is that what we're talking about with HF 146, the kidnapping bill, is that gender-affirming care would be used as as something that courts would consider when they're talking about a custody case, where they're talking about taking emergency custody of a kid. And one of those qualifications would be, does the child need gender-affirming care, and is the child receiving gender-affirming care? And if the answer to that is no, then again, as Grace said, the state could take emergency custody. And again, we're talking about something that's so barbaric that it can be equated with female genital mutilation, at least a part that's part of the umbrella term, quote unquote, gender affirming care.
And probably what we're going to see, on the House floor, you guys will watch this debate later probably, because we'll include the link in the weekly email we send out. You're going to see most of the Democratic Party shooting down this amendment and voting against this amendment.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how we can see into the future on that, Grace.
Well, it's just they're going to vote against this, and what that is going to do is it's going to show how extreme the Democratic Party truly is. It's going to show that they're shooting down an amendment that says gender-affirming healthcare does not include the crime of female genital mutilation as defined in state statutes. They're going to shoot that amendment down.
Right. And they're going to try. So there's amendments to the amendments. And frankly, I'm not even going to go there right now.
Too much in the weeds, honestly.
Too much in the weeds. But the Democrats are basically going to take that amendment and they're going to make it toothless and essentially useless. So the second amendment that Representative Franson offered is even better. It says, and this will be called the A8 amendment. So if you're watching the floor session, take listen for that.
And the other one was A2.
That's right. So gender-affirming healthcare does not include treatments that, for a minor, may result in permanent loss of sexual function, permanent sterilization, or permanent changes to the bone density or structure of a person's bone. Now, we know that if a male in puberty is taking estrogen, or if a female in puberty is taking testosterone, there will be, and I just want to keep this at the very basic level, there will be changes to bone density. For example,
it's usually irreversible, you guys.
And usually irreversible. It is horrific that it interferes with the normal human growth pattern. It absolutely should never be done.
It affects their quality of life. It affects if they can have kids or not. Guys, it literally is often life and death. And even if it's not a life and death kind of treatment, it will affect their quality of life for the entire rest of their life.
People who have detransitioned have used that language. It was disgusting that I was victimized. I was I needed help, but this was not the help I needed, and they would even refer to it, I think, as a life or death situation. Okay, guys, bring it in for a landing here. We are going to be going to the Capitol. Mm-hmm. We hope to provide some footage of that rally. If there's some really excellent clips from the floor debate happening at the Capitol, we hope to also share those with you so that you don't have to watch the entire floor session.
We'll just insert them in the podcast so you guys can listen.
Yeah.
And
we really think that, so, as we've said, Minnesota Family Council throughout the hearings on this bill has been the only group testifying against this bill. And we spoke up, and you guys spoke up. As Grace said, more than 1,000 of you have wrote to your legislators and said, this bill is wrong for Minnesota. This hurts kids rather than helps them.
And you guys are speaking up on social media. Like, you guys are using your voice. You're doing exactly what you should be doing.
Absolutely. And so what I love to see is these other groups coming in and getting involved. And other groups are realizing how horrifying this is, and they're taking action, and they're helping us put together this rally today. So we're going to adjourn.
I want to say one other thing too, actually, really quick. I recently posted this on our social media, but according to a recent study, this was posted by the Center for the American Experiment, but they said that the practice of sex change operations for minors is supported by only 22% of our state's registered voters.
That's right.
So this is something that only 22% of Minnesotans actually agree with. And remember, our legislators are here to support and to represent us. They're supposed to be our voice at the Capitol. Now, if they vote and if they pass this, they are not being our voice at the Capitol. They are not representing what Minnesotans agree with. They are going directly against what the majority of Minnesotans agree with. So remember, if you're watching this and you're like, wow, things look bad and I'm just in the minority and like the world is so dark. Well, just remember, you're actually in the majority here.
Absolutely.
It's some of our legislators are just going very extreme. And you know what? We're going to continue to fight this. Even if we lose the House vote, there's still a Senate vote, and that's only a 1-seat majority. And God can do big things.
God can do big things. We are absolutely not defeated yet on this. We are fighting hard. And I can't resist saying one more thing.
Yeah.
Not only was that polling, I just have to say that polling was from last week or 2
I know,
weeks ago.
I loved seeing
these
that.
are the numbers right now. And even a majority of Democrats, or at least, a plurality of Democrats, the largest share of Democrats, oppose this type of bill. It's insane. And we also want to say...
they're being bullied into voting for this, honestly. And
right.
I hate that. It's party line politics. I don't like it. Don't like it.
Absolutely. And the lead author on this bill, this is what I wanted to say. The lead author on this bill is Representative Lee Finke. Lee Finke is the first Minnesota Woman of the Year to actually be a man.
So basically what they're saying, what USA Today is saying, because they were the one who gave her that title, they're saying that a man is better at being a woman than a woman is.
And I think that's the sort of through the looking glass language that defines the political discussion in Minnesota right now. And it's the sort of through the looking glass language that makes this bill so insane. This is... And you know what?
We are giving you the facts so you can stand for truth. That's what we're doing.
That's right.
Guys, we're giving you the facts. No one else is giving you the facts. Everyone else is pretending like men are women. Guess what? We're not. So stay tuned every week. We'll continue to give you the facts so you can stand for truth. And we are going to be right back with you at the Capitol shortly. So see you guys there. Hi, guys. We're tuning in here live from the Capitol. We are right outside the House Senate chambers. Again, we are here opposing the lethal HF 146. Moses, there's a pretty big crowd here, right?
Yes, it's so great to see so many people holding up these Protect Kids signs, holding up Stop HF 146 signs,
right.
Because this is a bill that would, again, take custody away from parents when a child is not provided with harmful and even life-changing so-called gender-affirming care. So it's amazing to see multiple groups and many kids and families here showing up to oppose this bill. We're gonna tune in later with a couple more updates here from the rally.
Here with a concerned mom, Katrina, and guys, this morning I saw an amazing video that she had actually put out about HF 146, the kidnapping bill. She had seen our alert on social media, and she was just really fired up against it. So, Katrina, thank you so much for being on here, being willing to be interviewed. Can you just share a little bit about what you shared on social media? Because it was very powerful.
Thank you. Yes, honestly, so honored to be here and to share. And just as a mom, this morning I was talking with my 10-year-old and my 11-year-old, and how do I express to them what this is about, that they can understand as children. And so I likened it to my son right now at 11 years old wants to be an architect. Yes. He's told us so many times he draws things, and I love that. That's so good. Yes. I love that he feels like he can express who he wants to be and his dreams and aspirations. But what would not be okay is if, as his mom, if I were to say, okay, you want to be an architect? I'm going to pull you from school and I'm going to only have you do things to be an architect. Now that you make that decision as an 11-year-old, that is the decision for the rest of your life. You cannot change your name. If I started doing things to completely alter the trajectory of his life that he could never go back and change, that is not protecting him. That is not parenting him wisely. That is not parenting him well. Parenting him well is talking to him, asking him, Why do you want to be an architect? Let's have the conversation, and then helping him develop and grow, because he's 11 years old. He has so much more life to experience, and he could change his mind, and that's okay. And so understanding that as a child, there's still so much more for him to learn.
That's right. You heard it here from a mom first. You also said a really good line. I can't remember exactly what you said, so you can feel free to say, Grace, this is what I said. But you said something about facts, like feelings change, facts don't. Yes. Can you remember exactly what you said there? I can't remember your exact line.
Yes, exactly. I think feelings can lie to us. We can be in a moment where this is what we're feeling. We have immense anger or immense joy or immense sadness, and we're feeling this, and that feeling is not the truth. That feeling is a lie. There are children that have said before, I feel so sad, I think I want to die. Yeah. I know that's extreme, but today is an extreme day. We are in extreme times. And so if they say that, if they say, I want to die, are we going to help them do that? Absolutely not. We're going to protect them. We're going to love them. We're going to say, no, you have a reason to live. And we're going to pour into their lives, and we're going to listen to what they have to say. We're not going to take something that they say in the emotion that they're feeling as their truth and make that be what they're project onto their lives for. And so I'm just so thankful that we can be here today and we can stand together and just say, hey, this is not okay. This is not right. That we will continue to move forward and protecting our children.
So beautifully said. You're getting me riled up. I'm not a mom. I'm only 21, guys, as you know. I'm not a mom, but it is so beautiful to see your passion, because you're absolutely right. I mean, our kids deserve our protection. We will never affirm our kids in something that is damaging to them, and this is damaging to them. So thank you so much for joining me, and keep on fighting the good fight.
Yes, thank you. You too. Yes. We can all do this. Woo! We work together.
High five.
Yes.
So Grace, we're here, and I think you could probably hear behind us.
Just heating up.
Things are heating up. So there are folks on the opposition who support this bill.
That's right.
They're chanting trans rights.
It's our human rights. Yep.
And people from our side are chanting protect kids.
Parents' rights are human rights. That was something Moses and I came up with. Yep.
Yep. And they're chanting hands off our kids, which was another one of mine. And
Good job, Moses.
And then
yes.
we're really trying to make sure that legislators, as they come in, are hearing from us, hearing our voice.
We've had multiple come up and shake our hands, give us hugs, thank us for being here.
I want to shout out to Representative Natalie Zalesnikar from up on the North Shore. She is standing firm on this issue, and so many other legislators are. So we're really grateful for that.
That's right. Thanks for listening to or watching this episode of the Family Beacon podcast from Minnesota Family Council. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you're up to date on life, family, and religious freedom. You can follow us on Instagram at MN Family Council and subscribe to us on YouTube to watch our content. Get the facts, stand for truth.